Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. So I'm solo today to talk about a subject that I talk often about. And believe it or not, this week in one of my Profit Insider groups, this topic came up in great detail because one of the designers had, I think it was 2 consults. She closed both of them into a contract, and another designer was struggling with that. So we started to talk about how do you go from an in-home consult to a signed contract? How do you get the client there? So number one, I will tell you, excuse me while I look up and get me live properly on all my channels. First of all, you want to be a good listener, right? You absolutely cannot expect to have somebody go from an in-home consult to a signed contract if you are chatting the whole time about all the ideas in your head without being prompted by the client. And I've seen designers do this many times because you get excited about the vision that you're having. But I want you to be careful, and I want you to be cognizant of the fact that you must be a good listener in order to get them from the in-home consult to a paid contract. The other thing you want to do is make sure you have a service model. And I know I talk about this all the time, so it gets boring for a lot of people, but you have to have a service model for whatever need your client has if you want to work with them, right? If someone doesn't have the need for full service design, it's a mini or a smaller project, right? A mini design in 2 different rooms or 3 different rooms, or just advice in many different areas. That doesn't fit into full service design yet. Sometimes we get stuck on, I'm going to sell full service design to the next person who calls me. And we're not really going back to what I said before, being a good listener and seeing what they actually need from you, and then present the proper service model from the beginning. So for some people, they just want a designer bestie, like a designer for a day type of service model. Other people want a little advice here and there, want you to buy some products, not others. Often that's a designer on call or a designer by your side type model, whatever you call it. Full service design and means you're doing everything for them, right? They want you to do the design and the project management. So if you're trying to put somebody into a service model that doesn't match their need, it's going to be a pretty hard sell, and it's going to be something that you're probably not going to successfully get them from the in-home consult to a contract of any kind. If you don't have a service model that fits their needs, why would they sign the contract? So be careful not to lead with what you want to sell. What you're looking for are hints from your clientele is what they need from you. And do you have a service model that fits their needs? That's what you want to sell to them. So let's go a step further and also talk about discussing pricing early and often. It's really important for you to discuss pricing with your clients early and often and not be afraid of that conversation. So how do you do that? You should have a good, better, best list. You should have an idea of what some past jobs have cost your clients in the past, so you have some comparison. Often what we do is we try to avoid looking at our numbers because they scare us, and maybe we didn't make as much money as we should have. We didn't price it properly. So we just sort of go, okay, I'm not even going to worry about that one. I'm just going to look forward. But we have to look backwards at how you priced and the profitability of every job that you've had up till now in order to get knowledge, in order to price things properly in the future. So you have to discuss the pricing. You have to use estimate a lot, right? Because you don't really know always the exact dollar amount everything's going to cost. So you want to talk to them about their investment level. Have you done your research? Do you have an investment level in mind? If they say $25,000 and it's a full house, it's probably unlikely you're going to be able to do anything with that. And you need to be able to discuss that with them without getting anxious about talking about money. I want all of you to learn how to talk about money like you're talking about breakfast to your clients. Don't have it get that emotional pull from you every time you get nervous talking about money. You have to practice doing this. So those are my tips today on getting people from an in-home consult to a paid contract. Be a good listener, talk money early and often, and have a service model that's the best option for them if you want to work with them. Before I go, though, if you are interested, we are doing a webinar. Let me just get the exact dates. Nicole Heimer and I on March 18th from Glory and Brand. She's a web designer extraordinaire and much, much more. We are doing a webinar on the, let me make sure I get the title right. It's basically going to be tips on how to up your local SEO through blogging. So we already did our pre-webinar meeting, and we've got some amazing tips for you. So as interior designers, you need to work on your local search engine optimization, your local SEO. One of the ways you can do that is through blogging, but we have some very specific types of blogging that we want you to do in order to attract your local clientele. So if you haven't registered for the webinar yet, please click the link, register. It's free. If you can't attend live, we are sending a replay, and I think there's about 150 people registered already. So I'll see you on the 18th, or I'll see you before then on a live. If you have any questions, put them below, and that gives us ideas for future lives, and I can respond. All right. Bye, everyone. Speak to you soon.